Hi everyone, my name is Nayeli Rico Lopez. I am the coordinator for the Undocumented Student Program here at UNLV. So the DACA program, also known as the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, it was started back in 2012 under the Obama administration, actually in June of 2012. So it's been 10 years since it was created. And so the program itself is here for undocumented individuals who had to meet certain criteria to apply, but ultimately it allowed for those individuals to receive work authorization within the United States, as well as the ability to get driver's licenses, a state ID, as well as be able to receive protection from deportation. And so this was a big game changer for a lot of individuals because it did allow them to kind of have a more steady lifestyle, even though the program itself has faced a lot of backlash and attempts to dismantle it entirely. So that's a little bit about the program. For our recipients that currently have DACA, they do have to renew every 2 years, and it's recommended for them to do it 150 days to 120 days prior to their expiration date. And so they'll have to submit their renewal paperwork and pay the $495 fee, which does pose as a challenge for our college students because they're college students and they don't have, the highest income. So that can present as a challenge for some individuals. The process itself is fairly simple. They've actually just updated the USCIS website to be able to process online renewals. So the recipients themselves can submit that paperwork, or they can also do their renewals through other organizations or nonprofits in the community as well. This program is very important because it allows undocumented individuals to reside within the US and be able to work, be able to not worry about deportation, and be able to just be a functioning human with their basic needs being um, met. And so for our DACA recipients, they definitely navigate a very unique terrain within the US, just because they're kind of in the middle of being undocumented, but having some privileges in terms of being able to work legally and things like that. So the program itself is very beneficial to those that are within the DACA program. For the students that are at UNLV or any other kind of like higher education institution, DACA recipients, since they do have work authorization, they're able to work on campus and have internships as long as those positions or programs they're a part of aren't federally funded. And so they are able to take advantage of those opportunities. Also, just the plain fact that they don't have to worry about deportation of any kind. That's also a big benefit of the program itself. And for our current DACA recipients, they can, continue to do renewals. But for those that may want to apply, current applications aren't being accepted for the DACA program. So that's definitely poses as a challenge since there are many students on campus that could be eligible but aren't able to apply for it. So that's definitely a barrier for our students. But we can definitely help support them throughout their time here at UNLV and hopefully set them up for a successful future afterwards. So for our DACA recipients on campus, you are able to get different kinds of resources. So through the undocumented student program, we do provide DACA renewal funding for those that are struggling to pay that renewal fee. So there is that. And we also have the UNLV Immigration Clinic, which can do free DACA renewals through their office. So that's also a very important resource to have in your mind as well. And then we can also refer you out to other community organizations that do immigration work and immigration advocacy work as well. But then further after that, there's other resources on campus that are more general to our students that you can take advantage of, such as the Career Services Center, the Intersection, the Academic Success Centers that can help you with your academic um, avenues and prospects as well. And then there's also the Dream US National Scholarship, which UNLV just had their first cohort of students come in this fall semester. That scholarship program is a national scholarship program that focuses on providing full ride scholarships to immigrant youth. And so that's open to DACA recipients, undocumented individuals, and students with TPS as well. You can learn more about the requirements that they have on their website, which is thedream.us. And so we also recommend for students to check out that really great scholarship. And so it's also open to students that are first-time students coming straight out of high school, students that have been out of school for a while but would still be considered first-time students at a four-year institution. Also open to students that have just completed their associate's degree and are now thinking of doing a bachelor's. And lastly, students who are currently at a four-year institution who have less than 21 credits. DACA currently is in the courts and it's facing a challenge on its legality, legality of the program entirely. And so that's currently being decided on in the Fifth Circuit Court. And so what that means is that we are uncertain of what the future of DACA looks like. It could go many different ways. It could, be considered legal and kept the same, or it can be considered illegal and the DACA could be shut down completely. What the aftermath of that looks like, we don't really know, but we know that, renewals could be halted right away. And as soon as someone's DACA expires, they would no longer be able to be beneficiaries of what the DACA program provided. Or the DACA program could be considered illegal and just completely gutted, and the people with DACA currently could no longer benefit from the program itself at all in that moment. So they could say, like, okay, the DACA work authorization and protection from deportation is no longer valid in this moment, effective immediately. So it could go many ways. We're hoping obviously for the best, but the reality of things is that the Fifth Circuit Court hasn't been very favorable to immigration policies trying to be moved forward, and so we are a little worried, but ultimately we're trying to best prepare our DACA recipients and our community and give them the tools that they need to move forward regardless of whatever decision is made upon in the courts. And so for our current DACA recipients, again, we're still trying to encourage them to renew their DACA as we tend to do normally. And then for our students that don't have DACA but are eligible, their applications are unfortunately not being processed still at this moment. So they're also still facing the challenges that comes with as well. For our allies and our students out there that benefit from DACA, it's important that you continue to talk to your state representatives, Congress people, so that they can continue to fight for the DACA program and its further development potentially, maybe even immigration reform in general. It's important that we keep them updated as to the challenges that we're facing individually, but also collectively as a community. So advocating for yourself and for your community in that aspect is important. And then we also recommend for you to stay updated with any further DACA updates through various avenues. You can always connect with the undocumented student program, but there are also organizations out in the community that regularly put updates out, such as Informed Immigrant, Dream Big Nevada, and forward.us. Those are some organizations that do a really good job in providing updates. We also recommend for you to stay in touch with the undocumented student program here on campus. We can help provide different kinds of support for our undocumented students as well. And we have different kinds of program initiatives throughout the semester. So if you'd like to learn more about the undocumented student program and see what we're up to, you can visit us on the UNLV website, which would be unlv.edu/diversity/undocumented, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook under USP UNLV.